I don't know if he got kicked out of line or some kind of incident happened, but he does have help on the way. Looks like that is Wonder, and it looks like Freaky Fast. So these guys are going to get connected. Hopefully they can make some more moves, maybe catch that pack in front of them and gain more positions. All right, guys, what's up? It took a second. We're going to do a mic check, make sure everything is okay, but we got her up and running. All right, everything sounds good to go. So hopefully this thing holds out tonight. OBS has been a little cranky here tonight, but good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AKA's Cup Race number 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, presented to you by Shake and Bake Racing. Here at Atlanta, we saw a sneak peek of what is to be expected a couple of weeks ago during the preseason race, and I can assure you, you don't want to miss out tonight. Before we get to tonight's race, though, we have to bring out the SMB broadcast tradition called Driver Spotlight. And for tonight's Driver Spotlight, we are joined by AKA Pro Boss, who pilots the 9 car and is the winner of their opening race at Daytona. He's one of the top 50 drivers in the esports and owner of the AK Racing League. Pro Boss is no stranger to competitive racing and managing leagues. So a huge warm welcome to the booth, Pro Boss. And if you're ready, let's get started.
Absolutely. Welcome. Thank you.
Of course. All right, question number 1. Simple enough. What is something we don't know about you?
Something you don't know about me. Well, I'm a married father of 2. I grew up in Southern California working in motion pictures and fishing. Let's see, what do you don't know? I have a 100 gross ton U.S. Coast Guard captain's license. Probably
do
something
you really?
You don't know about me.
That is very interesting. Yeah, I did not. I know that you do a lot of fishing and out there on the ocean, which is completely awesome. I absolutely love that. But yeah, I did not know that stuff about you, so that's pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, living here in South Florida, it's definitely paradise.
Absolutely. I'm a little jealous, I gotta say. All right. Question number 2. What aspects of driving do you excel at, and what do you struggle with?
Oh, gosh. I like big, open, fast tracks. I like the car being up to speed and using a lot of air, a lot of draft. Fast track, Michigan, Talladega, Daytona, of course.
Right.
Texas, one of my favorites. And road courses, probably my least favorite, especially on a wheel. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you're on a wheel.
It keeps you busy.
I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, road courses probably be my arch enemy.
I feel you on that. All right, Pro Boss, we got to know, what is your favorite track on schedule, and what is your least favorite?
Well, Michigan. Michigan or Texas. Michigan is probably my favorite track, hands down. And like Sonoma. I mean, it's kind of what the road course. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I feel you. Yeah, Sonoma is my least favorite, I gotta say. I'm terrible at it, but if I practice, maybe a little bit better for me. All right, we have a fun question for you, Pro Boss. You're at a car dealership and you are told you can take any car home that they have. What car is it?
Oh, gosh. I really like those Hummers. I know they're
nice.
they're really not that big of a deal, but I'm a fan. A decked out Hummer, you just go anywhere, do anything.
Heck yeah, you know what?
Utility.
There was a few of them that we had around the neighborhood, and they looked actually pretty sweet. So, I can say where you're coming from with that. Absolutely. All right, and last question. I know you're going to qualifying, so I don't want to keep you. But earlier we asked about what you excel at and everything. Tell us a little bit about the showcase race for esports, and what was your strategy going in?
Oh, that, well, Harvick and I, Freaky Fast and I, and Wonder, they only gave us the information of what the specs were going to be a couple of hours before the race. And maybe it was the day before, but we came up with a gear package. You know, we had a strategy of only getting one stop. You know, and we thought if we could do that, then that's going to put us 3/4 of a track in front of everybody. It's just simple math. So
Right.
so we came up with some gears, and we tuned a setup where we have third gear that could keep up with everybody in the pack, and then if you had a fourth gear with a partner, I mean, we got, I think, 14 laps on the times 4, you know, whatever it was half the race, and without a caution, that strategy worked to a
And
T. And
absolutely,
we're
it
proud of
worked
that.
out. Yeah. I believe you got second in that race with all the teamwork that you guys were doing. So, man, a great job on that. And you got a win at Daytona for
Plus-
the season opener last week, or not, a couple of weeks ago, I should say.
Yep. Yeah, plus 17 on that. We started dead last. I got to Harvick's
Yes.
bumper, and that was just the plan. We weren't going to pass. You know, there was no need. You know, for the end, we kind of fanned out, but you know, for all three of us, it was a win for the team. Harvick, yeah, he won first, and but it was a great team effort, and that's
That's what it's all
a very
about.
proud moment for us.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining in the booth tonight. We're going to have you and Dodge Boys in the booth with us to be our in-car guy, you know, to let us know what's going on the track and what's going on out there. So thank you for joining us tonight, and it was great getting to ask you a couple of questions tonight, Pro Boss. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you very much, and yeah, hopefully we'll talk to you after.
Absolutely. All right, guys.
Ready.
I didn't get to introduce J-Mac tonight, but of course, as always, he is here with us in the booth. What's going on, J-Mac?
Oh, not much. Just getting ready to watch a little racing.
I hear you. I'm excited. They're here at Atlanta, like I said, and it is a crazy race at Atlanta. I mean, these guys are doing custom setups. It's going to be extremely loose, and there's parts of the track where if you get into that little nick in the groove, it can send you sideways, and it could cause an incident. So we'll see what happens tonight. These guys like to run the bottom quite a bit, so we'll see what happens. We have 17 drivers out here tonight, so it can get pretty crazy. I do want to give a shout out to Haley. Thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. And also the follow. That's amazing. I want to give a shout out to Coltrane out there. What's up, man? Hope you guys are doing well. J-Mac, we have to talk about last week, though. We saw an exciting season opener at Daytona where pit strategy and teamwork was key. We saw Rabbit lead several laps before he ran out of fuel. He tried to maneuver his car off the track. However, he was quickly approaching that turn with momentum and came back on the track, ultimately resulting in a caution. And speaking of cautions, they only saw 2 of them, and because of patience and talented drivers, it led to an exciting race. A lot of cars, though, missed pitting with each other, and they ended up solo on the track, but in the end, Pro Boss, Toaster, and Sapper took fuel only, coming out on top and leading the remainder of the race. Toaster and Sapper tried to make a move on the final turns, but Pro Boss was able to defend his position, and he captured the first victory of the season. So it was a great start so far. J-Mac, I'm curious, what do you see is going to happen tonight at Atlanta? We've been here a couple of times. We know what it's about, so what are you seeing here tonight?
Well, the first race, the preseason race they did here was, I think we're going to see that happen again here. Just those cars, a lot of restarts, a lot of guys slipping and sliding, trying to find their way. And those restarts are going to be key just because of where you get lined up. Because the bottom was king in that first race. The bottom was definitely king.
Absolutely.
You had to have the right group of cars lined up on the outside to be able to do anything. And there were some guys that could do it. We remember Rabbit, Garbage. There were a few others. But you just have to have that select group to pull you or to push you. Otherwise, you're just going to be a dead duck on that outside line. So you want to get to the bottom. You want to defend it. These guys are going to be going fast, so they're not going to be able to rim ride or, I guess, hold that white line like say we could in our league race. But it's just going to be it's going to be a lot of fighting over position.
It is. I absolutely agree. I mean, we saw a lot of single file racing and then guys trying to take that outside. But like you said, it is so tough out there. The place to be is on the bottom of the track. And I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. However, I think we're going to see some cautions though too. It's Atlanta. It just comes with the territory. Custom setups. It's fast. We have 162 laps here, I believe, tonight. These guys, I think, are running about mid 28s for lap times. So, I mean, they're running very, very fast. It's going to be a pretty exciting race tonight. Our second race of the season. Daytona was first, only 2 cautions that night. They did a great job, so I'm expecting another great race tonight. They're in qualifying right now, so hopefully they will be out shortly and we can get going on to tonight. But J-Mac, it's going to be crazy watching out tonight. I hear Dodge Boys got the pole tonight, so we're going to see him on the pole position there. And if I remember correctly, yeah, he's in here tonight. Dodge Boys, can we get a copy from you?
A copy of that, Frozen.
So, you're on the pole tonight. Did I hear that correct?
Yeah, you did. So
That's
really
awesome.
exciting.
Absolutely. So, your car is feeling great tonight. Can you give us any hints as to strategies you go on in? Just, I would imagine trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, trying to stay out of trouble is going to be the big thing. And actually, just before the race, I decided to go with a more detuned gear for gas mileage. So I'm glad that it's working very well in the draft pack to get the pole. We'll see how she does up front. I'm not expecting too much out front. I'm going to kind of lay a conservative race and just try and go for fuel strategy and fuel conservation at the beginning here, and then just see how it lines up for the rest of it.
Well, good luck to you. I wish you a lot of luck and congratulations on the pole tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. J-Mac, do you need in here? Do we need to send you an invite?
I am on my way.
All right, sweet. We just need to get that screen up and we will go live here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They will be probably on lap 2. It's letting me get on in, so let's go for it. Rock NASCAR, I want to give you a shout out. Short Track Racer, what's going on, guys? Hope y'all are doing well tonight. 162 laps. I'm excited. Atlanta is a great track. It is hard to do though. Like I said, going around turns 3 and 4, 1 and 2, you know, there's certain spots in the track where if you hit them just right, you will spin out. So hopefully we won't see that a lot tonight, but it's going to be an exciting night, definitely.
Bumpy, fast, slick. That makes for some exciting racing, Frozen.
Absolutely. I think we're going to see some dirt track in here tonight. It is Atlanta. It runs it runs kind of like a super speedway here, so it's very, very fast. All right, you guys, you seeing it right here. Look at this. We have the 92 out here. Dodge Boys, the pole sitter, looking great so far. I'm kind of curious if we come in and immediately we're seeing a caution here. Looks like these guys are slowing down. There is a caution, first of the night. Hopefully we can get a lap count on these guys. Lap 3.
As usual with the AKA races, there's one stage that's really caution filled, and then the other one is nice and tame. And right now, it looks like it's trending toward this one being the crazy one.
I'm curious if anyone is going to go in. We have in second place 12 of Rabbit. This guy is always very, very fast, so we're going to have to watch out for him. He is always doing really great in these races. He is on the outside. We have Dodge Boys on the inside leading off of that. These guys stayed out. I would imagine most of them did. A nice start for Dodge Boys. We have the 48 of Lucky Dog directly behind him, just letting him know he's there, trying to get him off on the run. 12 of Rabbit falling back just a little bit, guys. That high side, it is rough. We have the one car, I believe that is Sapper, falls off the track. It's a nudge from the 48. Little no slide there. He is off in a back. J-Mac, who are you taking a look at right now? I think we lost J-Mac. All right, we still have that 92 out front. These guys are single file. We talked about it. So far, running a little bit of that mid-line. Looks like it was the 4 that got shoved off earlier. But first through about 6, these guys are just single file line coming back through there, scattered out just a little bit up and down the track, but so far keeping it straight. That 92 still in the lead, going strong.
It's like we were talking about on that earlier, Frozen. That inside line just takes off on these restarts, and if that outside line can't get going right from the get-go, if they can't lock together and push real hard, then they're just... They have no ability to defend themselves out there, and the inside line, as you can see, prevailed.
Absolutely. We have that 41 on the outside. Rams it. Falling back just a little bit. Like I said, if you get on that outside, you are going to fall back. It is a tough position to be in. And he is falling back to about 5th place. We have the 10 sneaking up underneath him of Expert Toaster, dragging along a long field behind him. He has to get out of there. We have an incident, guys. These guys making a lot of contact. 41 involved.
Oh.
We have 18, the 88. Just a lot of people here. Definitely going to bring out a caution.
I was on board with the 22 right as that happened, and it looked like he was going to make it through, and then the track just closed. A lot of cars involved in that one.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what happened, but we had 32 to go right then, right before the caution came out, but we had a lot of contact there, and they just could not straighten it out. Went against the wall, and off they went. J-Mac, I'm curious, do we see anybody going in for pit stops? I mean, I think we have about 28 laps as far as that goes for pit window here, and we haven't hit that yet. But if anyone is loose and trying to make some changes, do you see anyone coming in just yet?
If you're in the back, you definitely want some fresh rubber. You want to make those adjustments just because there's nothing to lose. But if you're in the front, you want to hang on to that track position just because it is going to be so difficult to make your way through the field.
Absolutely, and they are going green once again. We have Lucky Dog on the outside, 92 leading them, 43 directly behind him, and that is Jose doing a great job here tonight. Let's see if we can keep that line running smooth. It is Atlanta. A couple of these guys look pretty slick out there. We have the 9 of Pro Boss in 3rd currently. That high side just falling back. Everyone trying to find a position, getting on that low line. So far, not being able to get down. But that low side is the place you want to be tonight.
Lucky Dog, that last restart, got to push the leader out front. This time he was alongside the leader, and is dropping like a rock as they wreck in the back.
Wreck in the back. I saw at least 3 cars back there. I mean, these guys are going to have to get some control over how loose their setup is. I don't know if the cars are bunching up. Maybe there's a little bit of lag issue, but mostly that is Atlanta. It is a hard track to make sure that you go green for a long time. It's close quarters, pack racing, and when you get super loose on the track, you do that and you're done.
And a brutal apron, too. You want to rim ride, or you want to ride right on that yellow line. Stick your tires on it. But if you are a little loose and that rear end kicks out a bit, it'll rotate the front onto it, and there's just no saving the car at that point.
Absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out to Timmy. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, and hope you guys are enjoying the stream. You know, here's the thing that I've noticed about the streams here with Atlanta. You're gonna have a lot of cautions in 1 and 2 for the stages. 3 is usually where it breaks out and it can be pretty clean. It gets pretty crazy at the end of the race, considering everyone is going for that win. But we'll see what happens here tonight. 2 lanes going out here. 92 decides to go up high. He has a nice little lead. The 18 behind him of Skiboski doing a great job in 2nd. J-Mac, look at this. We have cars flipping J-Mac. Absolutely incredible. That is going to bring out another caution, I would imagine. Here we go. Caution number 3 so far tonight.
It's just so hard in the back whenever the field is accordioning up. You're trying to give people room, and at a place like this where you don't have a lot of margin for error, if you let up, It'll change the way the car's handling. There are guys behind you that maybe aren't as quick to react to a quick checkup, and there's just nowhere to go.
It is tough. It is tough. I think we need to just give each other a little room here. I was pretty well knowing going in here that we are going to have a few cautions. It's just the nature of the beast. And in my personal league, we're actually not doing it in Atlanta anymore. It can be so insanely wreck filled that we just decided that for the Cup Series, we are not doing it there. I think these guys can pretty well handle it though, so we'll hopefully get these guys moving out. That 92 though, he is staying in the front here tonight. And so far doing great. We have Rabbit back in second, the 18 on the high side, falling back just a little bit. Pro Boss still in third. You can see how loose these guys are getting. Rabbit just side by side, just looking like he's warming up those tires. I mean, it's just a very slick track here.
Not sure what happened there, but the 48 of Lucky Dog restarted way behind the field. Not sure if he wasn't ready for the restart or if he lost the car or got bumped around like right at the start, but he is way behind the field right off the get-go.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at this field, a long line. So far these guys are doing a great job. I don't want to jinx him, J-Mac. I'm going to knock on some wood here. But yeah, doing great as far as his third run goes. 41 gets a little low onto that apron. Rams is going to have to watch that, but so far, so good. Who do you have your eyes on, J-Mac?
The pit fuel. Yeah, I'm on the leader right now, just looking back at this pack. Is the first about 6-7 cars are in a single file line, and then there's just a wad of them back there behind that little single file group. Oh, and the 10 looks like he might have gotten the apron and took a hard ride into the field, and there are a lot of cars involved.
Absolutely incredible. I think this is going to be a long one tonight. I think that was about 5 or 6 cars, maybe more. If we're gonna get tonight's race in, we're gonna have to make sure that we just tighten that setup up and give each other some room. It's hard. It's just that's how it goes for Atlanta. I'm telling you, it is tricky.
Luckily, this game doesn't have a day to night transition, and even if it did, I think Atlanta does have lights, so we would be able to get this race in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. Rock NASCAR, what's up there? Yeah, you got to keep digging and just make sure that you tighten up that setup and just give each other room. I tell the guys in my league, just be patient. There is so many laps going on here. It's just how it is though. Atlanta is really, really tough. We're going on green off of caution number 4. 2 filled lines up here. These guys run a very tight ship. A lot of cars out there though, so you got to keep them in order. Make sure you give each other room, and they are off. Rabbit on the outside. We have Dodge Boys on the inside. Pro Boss right behind him. We have the 22 of Doc Holidays looking like he is in about 3rd or 4th right now. That high side though, J-Mac just falling back once again.
So far, we haven't been able to find the right combination to hold their own up top. Either that, or it's just that 92 of AKA Dodge Boys is he won the pole for a reason, and that might be the best car out there.
Absolutely, but you know, with how many cautions we're having, I don't know if it's that his car is just that insane, or you know, with all the cautions, they're not. I mean, there's not much of a chance for anyone to pass him as of right now. And Sober David says, you missed a caution, Frozen. It's actually number 5. So he is usually my caution counter here, guys. So caution number 5, that was. Hopefully no more. Taking a look here.
We just completed a green flag. And as I was saying that, I should not have said that, as the 4 car is up in the air.
A rare amount of survivors. Only the top 4 survive that. I see a guy back there coming back on the track, but man, I'll tell you what, only the top 4 survive that. This is where you really just need to spread out. They need to come off these cautions and just give each other a lot of room. It's a tough one. It is tough, but I think unfortunately this is what it's going to be tonight.
It's so hard to tell these guys to lay off, though. They're racers. They're wanting to they're wanting to go fast and make passes and make moves, and it's so hard to ride in place. And this is a track where you have to be aggressive to make any ground up. So that's that weird dichotomy that you know, just what these guys are facing is having to be conservative when that's against their nature and against how you make time and positions up in this race.
Absolutely, and they are off once again. Pro Boss on the outside. We have Dodge Boys on the inside. Let's see if they can hold it together this time. We have Rabbit, or not Rabbit, but we have Doc Holidays in that 22 car directly behind him. Wonder in the 14, and already behind him. These guys are getting loose, and they were wrecking.
Looked like the 22 might have nixed the apron there or something, and he got up into Pro Boss, and that just stacked up the field.
It is going to be a tough one out there tonight.
These cars are so loose is that whenever they're not up to speed, they're even looser. They're even harder to control, and that's what makes these if we can get some green flag racing, these guys, if we can get some laps down and these guys can get into a rhythm and the cars can get some heat in them and all of that, then we'll be fine. But right now, we're just going into 1 and 2, and you know, these guys are just super loose with really slow cars, and it's just hard to handle. I know that doesn't make sense that slower speed is a harder car to handle, but when you're setting up a really loose car for these big tracks, it really honestly is.
You know, and the thing is, these cars are out here and everyone is racing for position. I get that. But like I said earlier, you do have to have patience. There's no sense in racing each other so super hard. And already I see a guy completely loses it and comes down on the track and takes out a whole bunch of people. I don't know what it is, whether their cars are too loose, but there's no sense in racing so hard right now. We only have a few laps left in stage 1, and most of it was spent under caution. So we need to get out there. We need to tighten those cars up under this next stage. Just make sure you get the car under control, and let's grow patient with each other and give each other some room and hopefully get this thing under green.
So far, 2 by 2 out behind Dodge
Absolutely.
Boys,
and Dodge Boys is getting quite a nice little lead, playing both sides, the high side and the low side. Brings it back down going into the turn. I see, wow, that's garbage, moving up through the field. We have the 14 of Wonder. 3 to go here, J-Mac, and already it's the end of stage 1. 3 to go. So we'll see what happens, but the 22 of Doc Holidays letting Dodge Boys knows that he is right there. Goes try to go underneath. He decides to hang back, but man, that was rough.
Dodge Boys trying to get a run, trying to make something happen, but it's just so hard. And if you get to somebody's bumper in the middle of a corner, then it can just create so much havoc for the pushee.
Pro Boss off of the track, comes back up, and
crazy.
He was not clear coming back up, and they were not giving any room, so a lot of cars involved in that. So far, I'm not seeing a caution come out. We'll see if it happens. Top 3 have a nice space built between them and the second pack. We'll see if they can hold it out there. White flag for the stage, so we're at the end of stage 1. Will Dodge Boys be able to hold them off? Doc Holidays directly behind him, and who is that in third? I can't get a number on him right now.
I believe that's Moordog in the 3.
3 dog of three dog. 3 car of
What's up, 3 dog?
3 car of Moordog. We see. Look at that. Doc Holidays almost loses it, and it looks like Dodge will take stage 1. He is your winner of stage 1, guys. Incredible race so far.
He bumped into the 92, but he got a little slideways. I think he might have gotten the apron, got another little bump, and was sideways flying up the track and somehow held onto it. And nobody behind him plowed in.
So far, Dodge Boys has led this entire thing. It has been caution-filled, but a lot of these guys are going to go in hopefully tighten up their cars, make sure they get what they need going in here, and come back out on the track. And we can get some green laps going in here. We're going to be starting off stage 2 in just a moment after this caution for stage 1. But man, very interesting tonight so far. Not that you can.
Not a lot of give and take.
Yeah, no, there's not.
that first one. So, I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that this stage is gonna be a lot tamer than the previous one. I have also been known to be very wrong on things. So let's see.
We're back with that 92, and he is in 4th position. We have 14 in 3rd. That is Wonder. These guys starting off so far so good. 20 car is your leader. That is Junior Horn, so doing a great job. He is one of the top 50 for the NASCAR esports there, so we'll see what he can do out there out front.
A lot of top 50 drivers in this race. A couple of them in the booth. It's a star-studded field tonight, bro.
Absolutely, you called it right here. We are in the 88 with Lock D Mitch right now. He is a few cars back on the inside. These guys look like they are straightening up just a little bit, and that is a good thing, guys. So far, giving each other a little space. We have the 66 of Wow, That's Garbage in the 3rd. 88 hugging that bottom, making me just a little nervous. 14 on that high side, but these guys are holding it off pretty well so far.
20 looks like he's struggling to hold that bottom a bit, and Mordog able to get his nose in there, and he looks like he's going to be able to take the lead if he can get a push from the 88.
Here we go, the 3 getting a little loose. He is able to hold on to it, but the 20 gets the jump that he needs, goes on the outside with Garbage, and off they go. They pull down below, and that puts Mordog in 3rd.
And that's the thing, the 20 had a very fast car behind him in Garbage. You have that 66, but now Garbage looking low. A nice crossover coming out of 4.
Great power move by Garbage. Absolutely fantastic. 20 falls back to 3rd. The 3 car takes advantage and moves to 2nd. Goes underneath Garbage. Very, very close. They fall back in a single file line for the top 4, and right behind them, a little way, just a little bit further back. These guys are going too wide, but these top 4, single file line. Sober David, yes. Well, no, that is not part of the caution. That's just the stage end, so they always do like a caution for that. So that's technically not count as a wreck. We have the
Mordog
3
looking underneath Garbage.
Yes. Mordog underneath has a little bit of a nose out on Garbage.
And Dodge Boys under 20, they're 2x2 for 1 through 4.
Huge wreck in the back, though. I saw the nose of that. We have a flip in the turn 4 that's going to bring out the caution. Wow, and Mordog out there side by side. Fantastic racing for these two. A little bit of a green one there, J-Mac.
Those 4 were having a really good race. It's a shame that caution came out. Dodge Boys did a great job of hanging in there, starting not just on the outside line, but in that 2nd spot on the outside line. Can be so hard if you can't get a spot, but he was able to find one or make one or whatever, and he held on to that front group.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so important, either maximizing your opportunities or minimizing the damage on these restarts, and that was an excellent job by him to do so, because that is a very, very, very easy spot to lose positions in.
Absolutely. We're coming back from another caution. Let's see if we have any takers on pit road. I wouldn't imagine we would have too many. These guys are getting ready to go green in stage 2 here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and off they go. We have Mordog on the low side. A nice little lead off of here.
Dodge Boys and Rabbit in that outside line. That's a good one to see if maybe they can hold it here.
3 getting on that bottom, gets him a little loose. He's had a couple of issues there. Dodge Boys having to save that. Wow, what a fantastic save on his part with that. Side by side with Mordog. 92 has just a little bit of a nose out of front of Mordog. He's got some help of Rabbit right behind him, and I do believe that is Toaster behind the 12 car. Dodge Boys doing a fantastic job here tonight of using both the high and the low side.
That was a great pass. It looked like Mordog was trying to maybe play this like a plate track and give each side some draft, and he came up, and those two made a little bit of contact, and it took enough speed off of Mordog for Dodge Boys to get around, and then a great push from Rabbit finished it off, and he's now your leader.
We have 30 to go with Mordog letting Dodge Boys know that he is right there and he is not letting go of him. Top 4, I would say, are single file line, but behind that it is getting crazy, and I'll tell you what, let's see if we can take a visit back here. We have Pro Boss, who fell back a little bit from an earlier caution that he was involved in, but it looks like he's trying to make his way up. We have Garbage, who is trying to make some moves after having a great race with Mordog up front. We have the 3 car who makes a lead pass for the lead in the front.
With Freaky Fast, who we have not seen up front for a while or at all this race, he's a really fast one and one we need to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
He's trying to make his way into second.
Expert Toaster and Garbage side by side. Wow, taking him on the outside with the 31 directly behind him. He's got a couple of drafting guys with him. 92 of Dodge Boys out front with him trying to help.
Oof. Found a hole and fit that car in there. That was a car length wide, or a car length long hole, and he put it in at the perfect time. Or else he was going to lose more spots than he had there.
Absolutely. Wow is definitely trying to make some moves happen on that outside. It is working for him for the most part, but sometimes he is falling back, and I do believe right now is when that's going on.
These guys are kind of chrome horning each other, which seems to be really the only way you can make a pass for the lead right now. It looked like the 4 maybe got into the 3 a little bit off of 4, was able to get a nose under him, and now move the 4 up to P1, and the 3 is on the outside line, outside of 4th place.
We have a car
And
into
as we
the
say
wall.
that, there is a car just, whoa.
I switched on over to Junior Horn, and as soon as I did, I just see a car just fling right up to the wall, and off he went. I do believe that was the 14 of Wonder. Here he is back on track. I don't see a caution coming out for this, so not sure what happened with him, but let's take a look at our leader. Freaky Fast out here doing a great job. This guy is super talented. Another one of the top 50 eNASCAR drivers, so he is one to definitely look out for.
An interesting note, something that we have missed at some point, the 48 of EVR Lucky Dog out of the race. His car is ghosted on pit road.
I did see that. I don't know what happened with him, but yeah, a couple of times when I was trying to switch cameras, it got to him under pit road. So we have a guy going through the grass, J-Mac. Hopefully he doesn't kill anyone coming up the track. We have a couple of guys getting off the track from that, and they are off the track. I don't know if they can make it back up, but so far no caution. 4 cars still in the lead here.
The 31 and the 9 were 2 of them involved. Not sure who else, but it looks like those are the 2 cars that got the worst of it.
Pro Boss has been in a couple of wrecks. He is the 9 car back there, and it is not looking good for him tonight. I would imagine he is just a little bit frustrated. He has fallen back quite a bit from the pack back here. He does have some help, but mainly he is just a solo guy. These guys are going side by side, even racing for that.
I think there's a long list of guys that have been involved in multiple wrecks tonight, Frozen.
You do have a point. You have a point. 22 to go at the line here. We have Mordog on the outside. Freaky Fast still leading these guys, going too wide. Mordog has Wow, that's Garbage right behind him, trying to make that outside work. Wow is not following this routine of let's take the low side. He is trying to make some magic happen on that high side.
We're finally getting some green flag racing. We're finally getting some wear into the tires, and now we'll see who can actually hold that line. In the draft, these cars are going a lot faster. You get a little wear on that right front, and the car flips a switch and goes to tight. We'll
Absolutely.
see who can hold the line, and the 4 gets the apron.
Harvick got on the apron. I saw that, man, and it was making me really nervous. 92 was trying to push him through that. He is unfortunately unable to get by that and falls back quite a bit. I don't know if that's going to bring out a caution, J-Mac, but man, Hate to see
It has
that.
not appeared to yet. When
That
you're
is
behind
tough.
someone and they get the apron, there's just nothing you can do but lift and just hope that he can get it gathered up or it gets down onto the apron out of your way.
Absolutely.
It
Look
just
at this.
Didn't happen.
Look at this drive for the lead. Here we have Wow That's Garbage on the outside. Another battle between More Dog and Wow That's Garbage. These two have been battling it out quite a bit tonight. We have a help on the outside with Garbage of that 20 car, and on the inside we have More Dog, and it looks like Expert Toaster behind him. A little bit of contact
little bit of
there.
contact. They're 3 wide.
Garbage
comes
into
down
the
in
wall.
horn, and those 2 are in the wall now.
Tough, tough. A lot of cautions not being called. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, J-Mac. A lot of guys, I'm sure, are very, very frustrated, but the guys out front, they're liking what they're seeing right now.
It is sort of playing roulette with the field, but at the same time, the guys that are keeping their noses clean, for the most part, the 3 did kind of door the 66 there to kind of start that whole thing, but
Absolutely.
the guys that are, you know, making their way through these wrecks are the ones benefiting from all this.
It's tough here. We have the top 2 guys. We have Toaster, and we have our leader out here.
And he is not content to push.
No, he is not. He is letting More Dog know, hey, I'm coming in here. I'm diving underneath, and we have a new leader, guys. We have Expert Toaster out here leading so far. We have a couple of guys on pit road from what I'm hearing. J-Mac, do we know who's on pit road? Can you check it out?
The 31 and the 12, it looks like, are 2 of them.
All right, so Rock NASCAR and also Rabbit pit road. That is the window of which they can go in. So I would imagine if they're back there already and it is under the pit window, now would be the best time to go in.
It's an interesting time to pit if you do, as the 12 has trouble getting off of pit road. Not sure if he got the apron coming back on, or maybe got the grass trying to hug it on that down on the apron, but he was spinning off of turn 2.
Tough. We have Freaky Fast out here in the 4 car. He is directly behind Pro Boss. These guys trying to make their way back out front after some unfortunate events. But man, we'll see what happens if they can make their way back. It is only stage 2. We have a handful of laps left, so they have plenty of time to make something happen in a whole nother stage. We'll see what they can do.
It is a very interesting time to pit. On the one hand, you've had a bad race, you've had some bad luck, so you come in, get 4 and 4, or 2 and 4, or 2 and full, and you try to go all the way to the end of the stage. On the other hand, now you're a lap down, so you could benefit from the wave around and not have to pit, but you're still going to have to start at the tail end. But if you can go green here, you can maybe gain some ground on some of these guys who are going to be out here on older tires. So it's an interesting strategy. It's a good way to maybe steal a couple of spots that maybe otherwise you wouldn't have gotten. But there's some risk involved in it.
Absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out to Hypothetical Theory. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the race tonight. We're on board with Wow That's Garbage, man, and he had an excellent battle with More Dog earlier. Unfortunately, had some contact with the wall, came back down, and took out a couple of people. Hopefully he can make it back up there, but right now he is just kind of riding this out, trying to find his way back up to the front of the pack here.
And speaking of the front of the pack, that group of 3 that was behind our 2 leaders, they have caught up to those 2 leaders. There's now a group of 5, with Expert Toaster leading, followed by the 3 of More Dog, and Jose in 3rd.
I'm pretty sure there are about 11 to go with Expert Toaster out front, J-Mac, and you called it. That is only going to help these top guys. They're going to have a lot of drafting to go. As long as they can hold it out straight and get moving from the rest of the field, it's definitely going to help them out here in the long run.
Well, you kind of would have thought that these front 2 would have, wanted to push out of there, make it a 2-car race for the stage, but maybe More Dog was saving some fuel there. Maybe he was playing a little chess while Expert Toaster was playing checkers, and he was trying to save some fuel to shorten up this stop. So we're gonna see.
I think we're going to see these leaders coming in quite shortly. We'll have about 10 laps to go, and we're coming up where they're going to have to come in.
Definitely coming in.
Yeah, Expert Toaster is in. More Dog is in. So, yeah, your two top leaders here are coming in, trying to get some fuel, tires, and everything else. Let's see if we can get to the new leader here. You see the 22 car out there. If I heard correctly, I'm hearing that the 43 is the new leader.
Mm-hmm.
So we can
Followed
see
by
if we
the
can catch
22
him out
and the
here.
88.
Yeah. 22 of Doc Holliday. 43 is Jose. We see Pro Boss coming back up on track. We have 88 in third of Lochte Mitch. These guys, I'm not sure if they're going to be taking a pit stop soon, but we should only have about 8 or 9 to go left here in stage 2. And then, man, I'll tell you what, we've had some green flag racing and a lot of good racing at that, J-Mac.
And it's about time. It took some interesting withholding of the yellow flag by the NASCAR officials, the NASCAR heat officials. But, yeah, we've stayed green somehow, and it's turned into a little bit of a fuel mileage deal. Whose strategy is going to hold out and whose speed is the best. It's going to be a little mix of both as the 88 is hitting pit road.
88 coming in of Lochte Mitch. We'll see how he comes out of the stage, but only a couple of laps left for this. Doing a great job so far, and it looks like Jose, if he can hold this out and doesn't have to go in for pits, he might capture stage 2 here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I'd like to know what lap exactly he pit on and when, how old his tires are, when he pit, how much fuel he has, what the fuel window actually is. God, I can't imagine he would be going all the way from where that last yellow was, but we'll have to see.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
Jose appears to be coming in because he is slowing way down.
Yeah, I see that, J-Mac, and he is having a tough time. Almost, to me, it looked like he almost did not make it. I'm curious. He's got 3 guys going in total. So 2 other guys going in with him. We have the 22 going in and another car behind them. So we're going to have another new leader out here.
I'm not sure if it's the game or what, but it looked like he had a really slow entry, and his car was very, very quiet as it came onto pit road. So I'm wondering if maybe he pushed it almost too far, or I guess perfectly far enough. As it would
It's
turn
crazy.
out.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that we have
Just a
6 to
splash.
go, but I'm kind of curious because that is according to Rabbit, and as far as I last knew, he might have been a lap or so down. So we'll have to get verification on that. We have a guy going through the grass, coming back up on the track. That could have been a little sketchy going on there, but so far, so good. J-Mac, do we have a count on who the leader is right now?
I don't know who the actual leader is right now, but I think your battle for the lead is going to be between the 43 and the 88 right here, who are side by side with the 66 of Garbage right behind them.
I'm watching this right now. We have about 3 to 4 to go. Looks like Wow is wanting to make that 3 wide. He's hanging back behind the 88 who just got in the wall. That does not help them at all. Garbage seems to be involved in a lot of stuff going on here tonight, just like everyone else. But man, this is a tough one.
Some hard racing, some tough racing, maybe a little silly racing.
We have the 88 as the leader right now. 43 directly behind him. Garbage coming up on the high side. I don't know if he is out there for the lead, but if he is going to be the winner of stage 2 coming up here in a couple of laps if he can hold it off.
I'm not sure if he was on a lead lap or not either, Frozen. I think he is. But
I cannot wait till this has like
he
a
must
better.
have taken tires, so I don't know how he would have gotten with these guys.
As far as I'm telling, this should be their last lap. I don't know if it's 66 of Wow, That's Garbage that is the leader, or 88 is still currently the leader. But this should be the final lap for stage 2. And here we have it.
It would appear the 88 was your stage winner.
88 was the stage winner. But I'll tell you what, the spectator mode, just bear with us, guys, because it is tough telling here. But the 88, he is the stage winner of stage 2, Lock D. Mitch. Congratulations to him. We'll see who comes in, takes those pit stops and what they do out there. But, man, I'll tell you what, good racing on stage 2. A lot of guys having some cautions cautions not coming out, but getting into some incidents out there and falling back quite a bit. It's been very tough with that, J-Mac.
It has been. The yellow flag seemed to have been lost by the flag bearer, the flag waver up there at the start-finish line. So no yellows for some wrecks that probably could have been, but that benefited us. We got to see a little fuel mileage gamble out there.
Absolutely.
Like the 43 and the 88, they both, and the 22 as well, they all just took a splash of gas on that last stop, and that ended up being the right call.
We have start of stage 3. We have Freaky Fast leading the pack right here on the low side. The 88 of Lock D. Mitch, who won stage 2 on the outside. These guys running very, very well. You see a couple of guys getting a little loose back there, but they're holding it off. That 3 of Moordog in third place, making a run on the inside with a lot of momentum. It looks like we have Jose, who is in second, making a nice run, and took a look on the outside to see if he can make anything happen out there. Decided to come back down in that 88. He's going to have to get down if he wants to not fall back anymore.
Inside line once again prevailed on a restart.
A long, long line here. We have 88 still hanging out on that outside. He's got to make something happen. We have Toaster, who is in 4th currently. We saw him leading a little bit earlier.
The 31
90.
having a bit of an issue as they're wrecking down in the front straight right now. But the 31 lost some ground somehow. He is way behind the field, and another car has joined him way back behind. Try to figure out who that is.
Freaky Fast still out there in front. He's got quite a nice little run here. Moordog, really? Sorry to hear that.
Moordog is way back. Don't know what happened to him. Just saw a lot of dust on the front stretch grass.
Moordog, it looks like he had some kind of a glitch going on and pulled out of the way of everyone else, so he did not ruin the race. Good for him for doing that, but I still feel for him. He had a great car tonight, as usual, so that can be pretty tough. Freaky Fast still holding on the low side. There is still some time.
There's a lot of time, and I don't think we've seen our last yellow. I'm pretty sure they'll find it in time for another major mess up here.
J-Mac, I'm hearing that we have the 4 car who may not have taken everything he needed on pit road during the caution. So here he comes. Yes, he's coming down pit road. That is going to take him out of the lead, and we're going to bring out some new leaders here then. Looks like Dodge Boy is going to be the new leader here once again after getting pulled tonight. This guy is on a roll, super strong here.
It's just tough, Frozen. Like whenever that screen pops up in these stages and you have to go through all of your adjustments, sometimes you forget to flick one little thing, and he must not have put all of his gas in.
Absolutely. It can be very tough, and it can be a race ruiner, which is what you don't want to see, but look at Jose on that outside holding it out, doing a great job up there. We have those guys on the low line. We have a couple of guys out there supporting that high side, trying to make it roll. But so far that high side just not having any love here tonight so much. They usually end up falling back, but Dodge Boys trying to play both sides, the high and the low. So far making it work out for him.
Dodge Boys is pulling the outside lane during the straightaways as he gets down into Toaster. God, that was close racing. But
It
Dodge
was.
Boys pulling that outside line so that they get the advantage down the straights, but then getting back down into the bottom with the line that naturally has the advantage.
Nice,
That's
nice
keeping them pretty
move.
much even around the track.
I don't know how he is doing this. It is making me very nervous, but Dodge Boys just playing both sides of that. And there was a couple of times, J-Mac, where you saw it too. It was going to be so close trying to get down to that bottom, but somehow he is finding it down there. And right behind Dodge Boys, on that low side, we have 66 of Wow That's Garbage that have found his way back up to the front of the field. We have Toaster up there. We have Jose up there. We have the 20 car. These guys are just doing a great job. Junior Horn doing great tonight.
These guys are being very brave with these cars, but so far they're holding on as the 92 of Dodge Boys gets in front of Garbage at the right time. This looks like a plate race right now, Frozen.
It does, and I said it earlier, Atlanta, it can play out like one. It is a fast track, and a lot of these guys, so much drafting goes on. You really have to be careful, and we talked about how slick that is on the bottom there. We saw, man, that is making me nervous. We saw the 18 up there get on that apron just a little bit, was able to hold it off, but man, I'll tell you what, if he wasn't able to, that was going to be another huge pileup. Right
You're
here.
starting to get a little single file now. That was a great sequence of racing, and just a brilliant job of holding them side by side for as long as he did by Dodge Boys.
The 12 of Rabbit. I'm not sure what happened to him back there. Let's see if we can get some camera. I don't know if he went into pit, but man, he got into the wall just a little bit, and it was looking pretty sketchy out there, but take a look at this leader out here of Dodge Boys. Strong all night. We have Garbage directly behind him. A long, long single file line. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh! I saw that happening. Man, we had Dodge Boys get on that apron. I was kind of concerned. Was he going to go into pits or was he going to stay out? I don't know if that was an accident, but that's going to bring out the caution here for stage 3.
Hard to tell if maybe he was getting bumped onto the apron or if he got bumped because he was on the apron, but they just all accordioned up there. He had an amazing save. Not sure if the 88 got him before the yellow came out. That'll be interesting to see here, but this should open up some options pit-wise for some of these guys. And also some of those guys in the back, well, this is their chance to make up a lot of ground.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can get something from Dodge Boys. If you're available to talk real quick during caution, how's your car feeling so far? What happened to you out there?
It feels great, except when my rear tires are being lifted off for the ground there. I lost a little bit of rear traction there going into 3. My good buddy Garbage thought we were doing a hot race there. So it's all right. It happens. It's okay.
You're doing great
time.
out there tonight. Good luck, and I'll let you get back to racing.
Thank you.
92 is on that high
I need
side.
some longer
Garbage
yellow
just
so we can
all
actually
over
have
him.
some, longer interviews.
I know, right? We have the Jose in second. We have Expert Toaster in third. 22 car gives Dodge Boys a huge smack to the wall, and he gets another smack. These guys are just all over the place, J-Mac. What is going on?
Well, it's an old-fashioned DWism. Cautions breed cautions, and that seems to be what's going on. Not sure if Dodge Boys thought he was clear, or if the 22 came up a little bit, or if they both zigged and zagged at the same time, but that little bit of contact, or it looked like a lot of bit of contact,
That's rough. That's rough.
wadded everything up there.
Absolutely. Gimp, what's up, man? I hope you guys are enjoying the race. And yes, I wish it showed replays because I would love to see what actually happened there. But from what I saw, maybe the 22 got up just a little bit of Doc Hollidays getting up into Dodge Boys. It could have been the camera angle. Not really sure. However, Dodge Boys ended up in the wall a couple of times, just getting smacked around. Very tough, but these guys are going to have another chance to go in. Silent Killer, thank you so much for the follow. We're going to come back here and get going green in stage 3 here tonight at Atlanta. Off they go. Let's see if we can make our way to the front.
By virtue of digging from 2 cautions ago and just nicking Dodge Boys at the line, or at the moment of yellow, the 88 holds the lead, and that is worked out as you've seen. Dodge Boys is now in the back of the pack, while the 88 has clear road in front of him at the moment.
We are in car with 66 of Wow That's Garbage. He is currently in 3rd with Expert Toaster in 2nd. And we have the 88 of Lock D Mitch, our current leader. 31, he's doing a great job out here. Rock NASCAR. He is also one of the top 50 for eNASCAR drivers. J-Mac, I hate to say it, but they are looking pretty good starting off here. We have another single file line, and Jose is making it a double file line back there. Hopefully he can find his way back down. It looks like he did. But man, they're a very long, swervy line, just back and forth. So we'll see how long this lasts.
It's like they're trying to stay in a single file line, but you don't want to really be directly behind that guy because it obscures your vision. It hurts your corner entry. It creates that chance to get into him or get bumped, and so you kind of cheat a little bit out about a half a car width, but then that gives the guy behind you an opportunity to to take that other car width, like half a car width, and make a move on you. So just some very interesting what your strategy is if you want to ride and how you ride, and if you want to race and how you race here.
You know, it's very true. And you mentioned being behind somebody and not being able to see the track. It's a lot of stuff you don't think about as you're watching these guys, but it is so, so true. When you're behind these guys and you have all that draft, it can either A, make your car very, very loose, or B, what I find a lot of times is it makes me very tight because you have all that momentum going in. And so it's extremely hard with all that speed to make that car do exactly what you want. And when you have someone out in front of you, you can't see the track and get those marks of where you're turning and what you're doing. So that can mess you up also. It is very hard at a track at like Atlanta, where you have all that speed going in. You can't see exactly what's in front of you because you have those cars blocking it. It can be pretty tough out there.
And it's made even harder by the fact that this track, quite frankly, isn't meant to be raced this way. This is a place where you're supposed to be using a lot of brake, and just you're racing the track and your own car more than you are other competitors. But the way that it is in this game, and with the way that these guys can set up their cars, it just creates a whole. It's like doing a super speedway race at Bowman Gray Stadium or something like that. This is just way too tight of a track to be racing like this. And the fact that these guys can get any green flag racing in at all is honestly kind of impressive.
Absolutely. And these guys are doing a great job of it here tonight in stage 3. But it looks like it's going to be about 49 to go here at the line. So a lot of racing left. 162 laps here tonight. So these guys still have 49 to go. But we're going to have another pit stop yet. That we're going to see these guys take. A lot of strategy involved. When are they going to go in? What are they going to take? But we'll see what happens towards the end of the race.
The 22 car of Doc Holliday is struggling right now, Frozen, especially on entry. I don't know if maybe he tried some strategy on one of these pit stops, or if his car just is not liking this long run or some adjustments he made. But it looks really tight, especially on entry into the corners. And he was holding this group up for a while, but now he's getting freight trained by him.
Yeah, he is just falling back to the end of that front pack there. We have Expert Toaster behind him, and he dives underneath. He has to stay on that outside. We have Pro Boss directly in front of these guys, trying to make their move. Wow, look at this. Makes his move for the front of the lead here. Doing a great job.
Around the outside.
Around the outside. I'll tell you what, I have not seen a lot of people make that outside work. as well as he has. He's got a nice lead already just from making that pass. So we'll see what he can do here tonight. But so far, nice moves being made by these guys.
Ooh, Boss onto the apron. Nice save, and then he gets into Dodge Boys, and that puts him in the wall along with Holiday, and that'll bring out a yellow.
Back to yellow. We saw Doc Holiday turning around on the track, trying to bring it out straight. We're going to have another caution, guys.
I was about to say that after getting put in the back, that the 92 is doing a great job of staying with that lead group and being patient. He has maybe the best car in the field, and he wasn't, trying. He was just slowly working his way through there. And as long as you're in that front pack, you have a chance. And then as that thought was pouring through my head, that wreck happens.
And I don't get to talk to Dodge Boys a lot. I don't know him very well, but what I love about him tonight, just talking to him, this guy's got a lot of energy, and he seems very, very positive. I mean, he got bashed around quite a bit, but this guy somehow manages to find his way back out front, and a great team player.
Through some strategy,
Look at that.
Rabbit are now your top two.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have 92 out there. We have Garbage out there. We have Rabbit out there. We have Freaky Fast out front. These guys have found their way out front at several times during the night tonight. So awesome to see. I'm seeing a lot of movement in this pack, though, J-Mac, making me a little bit nervous, but they look okay so far.
Yeah, that car is looking a little tight.
I would imagine the 92 stayed out, so he's got to be on old tires. He made up a lot of positions because I know that he got smacked into the wall on that. Another caution, J-Mac.
Judging by the way they're racing in the back, that might not have been a terrible call. If you can get a few more of these quick green flag runs and cautions, then that might equalize him with the rest of the field whenever he decides to make a last pit stop. If he needs to make one more.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I would imagine a couple of these guys are going to have to go in again, especially being on old tires. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. So we'll see if 92 goes in. Wow, I'm not sure if we're going to see him go in. We have Jose in third. We'll see what happens, but these guys do have the option to get and hopefully make it a few more laps, but 28 is the lap for fuel count out here tonight, so we still have some time left. Here we go, starting off green. Garbage on the outside, 92 still leading it, so he's holding on out there. Did not make a pit stop. If he did, everyone else did. These guys are going to have to pit again. 43 of Jose directly behind him. Boss finds his way back up front, currently in third. Jose making a try on the outside. These guys looking very, very squirrely. Let's take a look at it from Dodge Boy's angle here. Looking at that field behind him, it is just very back and forth. We have Jose in second. We have Pro Boss in third. Garbage behind him. You see Freaky Fast back there. A lot of cars hanging on here. We're with the 41
Once
car
again,
of Ramsit. He's behind a couple of cars on the outside trying to make it work. We see Expert Toaster on that inside. But J-Mac, they're doing a great job so far.
Once again, it takes about a lap and a half, but that front 6-7 cars, they get single file, and all of the racing is in the back. Now it's up to those guys to hold her straight and hold a pretty wheel, and we'll see what happens. Is
a lot of movement. We had the 41 come down, and even before that, we had an incident that is going to bring out another caution.
Was that a garbage lag? Because that's what it kind of looked like. It looked like he was pulsating on my screen. I don't know if he was on yours.
I was actually probably midfield here watching Rabbit and they had an incident with them and then another one before that, so I missed what happened up front.
That incident was caused by a big stack up. They kind of all went in there in a wad, and then they just kind of started separating. And in the middle of all that was the 66 bouncing around just a little bit. Again, that could have just been my screen. There's been times where I've had a whoa moment, and there was nothing actually going on. But very interesting there.
Another caution is out. I'm curious how many cautions there's been tonight. I mean, I knew we are going to have a lot going in, but coming out of this one, we're going to have Pro Boss in the lead, taking some pit strategy with him. 41 car is out here in 4th place. That is Ramsit. We have a Rabbit on the inside, Pro Boss on that low side. We'll see how they do coming off here. Expert Toaster falling back to 3rd.
18 in the wall.
That high side is tough.
Not sure if he got put in the wall or got up into the wall.
Coming
So
up at the
31 laps to
line.
go. Some guys have just gotten their full of fuel. Wonder if some of these guys are going to try to make it. All it'll take is maybe 1 or 2 cautions, and some of these guys might have seen their last trip to pit road.
I was just going to ask you, do you think they're going to make it? Because the pit window here is 28 laps. They have 28 laps on their tank here, and we're at 31. Are they going to try to save here and see what they can make happen? Or are they just expecting another caution and maybe just grab some fuel there and continue on their way?
By quick math, they're about 3-4 laps short, which that's really hard to save over the course of a run, especially at a place where you're on throttle as much. Although if you're in the back of the pack, you don't have to be on throttle as much. So that's going to be really interesting. I think if you want to stay out the whole way, you're going to need a yellow, but some of these guys are really, really good at saving fuel, so we're going to find out here pretty soon.
And look who's in the lead. We have Rabbit, who is in the lead out here. If you recall, at Daytona, he led so much of that race, but ran out of fuel and ended up wrecking part of the field, trying to get down into pit road and get off the track so that he didn't mess up the race, but unfortunately caused an accident. It's very interesting that we're talking about pit strategy here and fuel-wise, and we have out front Rabbit, so we'll see what he can pull off here tonight.
And also in the preseason race, he was one of the cars. Like, he was one of the cars to beat in that race. One of the
absolutely.
ones that we kind of circled as the fastest, like 3 or 4. So it's kind of crazy that we haven't seen him up here really that much this race, if at all. If this is his first time, I don't remember really seeing him up here. So as the 3 gets into the dirt,
Yeah. I
and
saw
they all
more
brought
Dog
up.
bringing it low, trying to get back up on track. Almost had it
92 of Dodge
saved.
Boys was involved.
Uh,
A lot
Dodge
of
Boys
guys,
just
22
getting
of Doc Holliday.
just rough.
A
So
lot
rough.
of cars involved.
Absolutely.
I saw him up on the outside line as the 3 came back across the across the track and just nowhere to go except just get planted in the wall.
You know, and I'm looking at, we had a garbage in pit stall, so I'm curious if he got disconnected from some lag issues that we saw earlier that you were talking about, but he is no longer in the race, J-Mac.
He might have either disconnected or been pulled from the race, but yeah, he is joined the 48 of Lucky Dog in the garage, which is a shame because both of those cars are really fast.
And if they pitted and took some fuel, they should be good to go until the end, J-Max. So I'm curious. I would imagine most, if not all, went in to grab some fuel. Some maybe even change right side tires. I'm not really sure, but I don't know what you're seeing. I'm seeing a ton of lag right now.
I am as well, Frozen. They're bouncing around all over the place on my screen. And again, as long as this race took, I talk about it every week since we had that first race and since we did that race at Daytona in our league. the connection kind of degrades as you go along. And by the end of some of these races, if they go over a certain length, it can get just real treacherous to even drive around somebody.
It's true. It's true. And as I was on board, man, it was rough looking. A lot of lag happening, but right now it looks pretty smooth. We have Expert Toaster out front. Freaky Fast has found his way back out front once again. And this guy did so well in any car you put him in. You can put him in a truck. Oh, no. You could put the 4-car in the car. You could put him in the truck, and he somehow finds his way out front, whatever you put him in.
And it is funny, these are two of the guys who the first races we did, Toaster and Freaky Fast, were two of those really fast drivers. And we haven't seen that much of them today, but they've been lurking, and here they are up at the front with Lock D Mitch, who has been a bit of a player today, in third.
A long, long line. We're here with Mordog of the 3-car. We have 19 behind him of Little Wing. Very long line. We'll see what he can do making his way back up through there, but so far single file. 20 laps to go, so we're coming down to the wire, guys. It's to the point of the race where I'm like, if you want to make something happen, you're gonna have to do it soon.
And the leaders are driving way more aggressively. Toaster running really close to that yellow line, even down the straightaways. That's going to make it really hard to enter down on the bottom, and these guys might be able to take advantage of that. But if you don't follow them down the straightaways, then you're going to be out of the draft and get moved back, so they kind of have to run in that line. It's just going to be really interesting to watch these guys bottom feed the rest of this race.
Harvick seems to be holding it down there pretty well. Freaky Fast. Expert Toaster, it doesn't seem as comfortable on that low side, driving as low as he is. This is the point right here in that track where you can get very, very loose coming off there. You see 4-car. He looks just a little bit loose going off of that, but man, he is holding it very, very well down there.
Just so hard whenever you give yourself that, whenever you take away that margin of error, because if you slide out the rear end, you're scrubbing off speed, but if you turn into that corner and plow the right front, you're scrubbing off speed. So you just have to get it right, especially at the faster speeds of being in the draft, and it's just so tough to hold that yellow line for as long as these guys are going to have to.
Absolutely, and I see a lot of movement from the 88 of Lock D Mitch and Rock NASCAR, who is in that 31 car. They are off of each other right now, but they were pretty well scrunched up together, nose to tail, and it was looking pretty rough, but they held it out together. And a pretty straight line going around this turn right here. Some of them moving up to the high side as soon as I say that, but I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be some moves being made shortly here by the 4 of Freaky Fast and 88 of Lock D Mitch.
Eventually, these guys are going to run out of patience. Don't know when it'll be, but they will, and business will start to pick up.
I'm very curious if we're going to get any takers. We have 15 to go at the line. 15 to go. Coming down to the final few laps here. These guys look like they are just holding on. Let's get through these laps, and then we're going to make some magic happen. These guys are going to go for that win. They're going to make those passes, go on that high side, see who are the takers that will go with them. Going to be a lot of chances taken here tonight. It's just how Atlanta is. A very fast track, and you have to do some crazy things. Take that high side, stick your nose in where you may not usually would if there's not enough space, but we'll see what happens.
These guys up at the front, you're content to ride a little bit because you're in that position to lead, but if you're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, you need to better your position. And it's very surprising that some of these guys in the back aren't forming a plan to work together to kind of take on this group. Because if you're running well, then as Dodge Boys is able to kick the 31 out of line, and he moves up to 4th. As I said, these guys are starting to finally it looks like try to take these positions as now Toaster is working both lines.
Dodge Boy making his move on the outside, trying to make something work, and currently in fourth. Falls back just a little. Hopefully he can get some takers to go with him. Jose on that inside. It was very close racing right there, J-Mac.
Just not enough people to go with him. It looked like Jose popped out to maybe get behind him, but wasn't clear and wisely popped back in line. I'm not sure if that was a lag weave or if that was an actual move he tried, but I'll give him credit for trying.
J-Mac, I'm hearing some chatter that there might be a couple of guys that might have to go into pit before this race is over. Are there any in the front pack? I have no clue, but we'll see what happens with these guys if they go in. I would imagine and hope that these guys can hold it out in the front and make something happen.
As we're talking strategy, they are wrecking in the back. Will that bring out a yellow? Yes, it will.
Yellow is out, guys. Yellow is out.
And that changes everything.
It usually does. It usually does. Once you think you have a strategy going, once you think you know what's going to happen, a caution comes out and just ruins the whole thing. I'm very curious who we're going to see are going to go in right now. 10 of Expert Toaster. I can't imagine we would want to see him come out. I'm hearing from Sober David the caution count is 15. That's insane tonight.
That is a lot of yellows.
It is a lot of yellows.
That is.
Rowdy Winnie,
crazy.
I want to say thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying the race.
And is
what's going on there? We have
I
a
have
car
no idea.
that
There was a car and then it disappeared.
We have a Freaky Fast out there in first. A lot of lag once again. We have the 88 of Lochte Mitch out in second. Jose in third. Okay, the 18 of Skiboski lagged out here tonight.
Also, the 31 is gone.
The 19 is just lagging hard here. Giving that Dodge Boys a couple of taps from that lag. Man, that is rough to see. 6 to go at the line. So many new faces up front. We have a Pro Boss up front. Freaky Fast up front. That is not a new face, I'll tell you that, for being out front. But here tonight, a lot of lag happening.
Yeah, these cars are jumping all over the place right now, Frozen.
We're in car with the 12 of Rabbit. You're looking at that 19 just lagging a low wing. Huge wrecking into Dodge Boys. What a disaster for that as far as lag goes. 5 to go right there. Caution is out.
14 involved in the 10 of Toaster, who not that long ago was your leader.
That is tough. Very tough. I'm very curious if Harvick is going to be able to hold off the guys behind him. Jose is behind him, running very well tonight. Jose, or J-Mac, do you think Jose might be able to make something happen, or is Harvick going to hold him off?
I mean, it's going to be hard here. I'm assuming none of these guys are going to pit, so he's going to start on the outside line, and it's just going to be really tough. He'll have Pro Boss behind him here with the 92 of Dodge Boys, but they're going to have a slip up by that bottom line if they're going to be able to do anything with him, I'm afraid.
Absolutely. Right in car with Lochte Mitch of the 88, Jose on the outside. We have Freaky Fast, still your leader here, and only a couple of more laps to go. We already have cars off and wrecking in the back. A ton of cars involved. Absolutely
the
disastrous.
The 92, the 41, the 9 was involved a little bit, I believe, the 12.
That's going to be overtime, guys. We can get a green-white checkered to go. Man, J-Mac.
Your leader, 88, is going to be stuck on the outside. These guys are going to be fighting to get down to the bottom again. This is going to be... I don't know if this is going to be our only try at a green-white checker, Frozen.
You know, with how tonight is gone, your guess is as good as mine. It's craziness here. I'm curious if we're going to have any takers to get to the end here, but I would imagine since we just came off of a caution, we're not going to. See if I can make my way back
Some
up
guys
front.
in the back, probably, but that would be it.
We are off to green. Let's see if we can make some magic happen. The 88 on the outside. Freaky Fast on the inside. We have the 19 of Lil Wing. A little bit of a contact. Oh, 88 into the wall. Expert Toaster in second. We have Lil Wing that fell back just a little bit. J-Mac, a caution is out once again.
The 19 was in position there behind the Ford. He was pushing on him, and it looked like he just got caught on his bumper or something and hung him straight left, and he was out of it. He was completely separate from that other wreck that happened.
Absolutely incredible. Definite overtime here tonight, and it's Atlanta. I'm telling you, this track is extremely hard, and as J-Mac pointed out, this is a track where you're supposed to use a lot of braking and letting off of the gas. So once you're in here and you're on custom setups and you're going so fast and you're in the draft, it's really, really hard. You have someone hit the apron, it's just going to take out the whole field. It's just the nature of the beast.
One more restart, maybe.
So much lag going on here too. We have Expert Toaster on the outside, Freaky Fast on the inside once again. These guys, we'll see if we can make something happen. J-Mac, this field looks super short. I don't know what's happening to the field or if I'm just like seeing things, but it looks like a lot shorter field here right now.
We've had a number of cars lag out. I don't know.
22.
A lot of
Got a little bit of a contact with that 10. Made me scared, but I'll tell you what, they held it.
Oh!
I'm so nervous to even think what's going to happen here.
Right now.
That is the white flag, guys. Let's see if we can get up with your leader. Harvick. We have the 41.
He's on the apron. He's wrecking. They're
More and
wrecking in
more
the
cars
back.
out. Doc Hollidays, he was going to make something happen. He's going to have to do it now, but Kevin Harvick looks like he is going to win this if he can't make any magic happen. Here he comes around, and that is going to make Freaky Fast the winner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congratulations to him. Doc Hollidays in second. Did you get a count on who was in third?
The 92 finished third. He made a late dive on the 14, and the 14 came down into him, and there was a lot of contact there, but the 92 survived it. And he came home in third with Moordog in fourth.
Absolutely incredible. It looks like our final caution count was 18 tonight. It's got to be a record.
Goodness gracious.
That has got to be a record.
And this was just a 50% race. That is if this were extrapolated out to 100%, we were on pace for 36 yellows.
That's insane. A huge congratulations to Freaky Fast, though. That guy, man, I'll tell you what, he just knows his way around a track and has so much experience here. He does a great job. That was quite... It was a little weird what happened with that engine right there. We're going to get these top 3 guys in here tonight. Deadly Bomb, thank you so much. Sober David, being our caution counter, thank you so much. All right, let's get these guys in here. We already have Dodge Boys in here. All right, we need Doc Hollidays. We're gonna leave this lobby.
What up?
Freaky Fast, congratulations. What an incredible race. You did a fantastic job here tonight. Man, tell me, how is your car feeling tonight, and what were you thinking with all these cautions?
Well, I had to have a little talk with the crew chief and tell him that we're going to have to get it on short runs. We had a long run setup, so we changed the whole setup in the pits. Fell a lap down, played pit strategy, and got back on the lead lap, and finally got it rolling towards the front, and just had to avoid the wrecks.
Absolutely incredible that you were a lap down and made your way back up there to win the race. I mean, you've been in the top 3 several times for after the race, so great job. Did you have a strategy going in? And I can guarantee if you did, that all these cautions threw that out the door.
Absolutely. I had a long run setup in, and it did not pan out. So I ended up having to loosen the car up, make it faster for short runs, and it was a little tough to work with in the pits, but it came around.
It definitely did. You did great. It was fun watching you battle your way up to the front and staying out there. So congratulations to you tonight on your win at Atlanta. Great job.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, J-Mac, let's take a look at second place of Doc Hollidays in that 22 car.
Well, Doc Holliday, congratulations on the second place finish. There was a bit of a roulette wheel out there, so how in the heck did you end up in second there toward the end?
Well, I dodged many bullets, I can tell you that much. I rode back in the back for a while and just, worked my way back up there, and I think I finished third in both stages, and then come back up there and got second, but gambled one time on gas, but like what you're saying, it's roulette, Russian roulette, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, it was a handful tonight for a while.
So
Many
I'll
bullets
ask
per
you the
shot.
same. I'll ask you the same question that she asked our winner. Did you have a strategy going into this race, and did it just get completely shot out the window when it turned out to be a caution fest at the beginning?
Well, I always stay in the back and just kind of ride the storm out for a little bit and then work my way back up to the front. That's usually, what I try to do. But no, there's no strategy tonight after that. I mean, it was, after the chaos broke, it was just like try to get to the front and stay up there.
10-4. Well, tell me about that, the battle toward the end there. Did you need more car? Did you need more laps? What did you need there at the end to move up a spot?
I could have probably moved him a little bit. I had better tires, but I didn't want to cause more chaos, so I just ride it out and finish second. Because he was on very old tires. But I just didn't want to move him that way, take the win.
Well, congratulations on finishing second. Good points day, I guess, and nice job staying alive there.
Well, that's the name of the game some nights, isn't it?
Absolutely. All right, Dodge boys, you bringing home a third place for tonight. We had you in the booth. We talked to you a couple times. You seem to remain positive throughout tonight. Tell me what you were thinking as all these cautions were coming out, and I'm watching your car and you just have people coming up the track, hitting you into the wall. I know so many people are having the same issue, but what were you thinking tonight?
I had a lot I was thinking, and I was trying to stay positive the whole time, but after about the third or fourth time, you get a little beat down, and so towards the end there, I drove a little bit more aggressive than I wanted to. I got into wonder there on the last lap, but I had the position, and nobody was backing off, so I thought, well, I'm not going to either. So Mr. Toaster and I will have a talk after the race about what happened midway through when when he got into my door a little bit. But overall, it was a good race for our team, a lot of resiliency. I knew I had a fast car. It was just kind of how the dominoes fell, and if you were in position for it, then you were out front, and I came from 8th on that last restart, got all the way up to 3rd. If there were 2 more sets of corners, I could have gotten the top 2, but I'll take a 3rd place finish after all everything we fought through today.
Absolutely. I mean, you started off on pole. You led the entire first stage, I believe, and captured the stage. After all that, you, like I said, you still stayed positive and came back up through the field. So you obviously had the car, one of the cars to beat tonight. So congratulations to you on the 3rd place there.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. These guys are headed to Indy for the next race. I gotta ask you guys, how do you feel about Indy? I'm very curious. Go ahead and answer, Dodge Boys.
Indy's a really good track for me. I love how flat it is. There's a lot of passing opportunity though, but it's just going to be. We're going to see how aggressive guys are and how defensive guys are. At the end of the day, that's what's going to come down to, similar to it was today. If a guy's got a position, if you're that front car, how hard are you willing to drive them into turns 1 and 3? So we'll see what happens, but I'm really excited for it because it's fast track, but tire wear plays a factor into it. So over the course of the long run, some guys will have fall off, so I think that'll play into a good race.
Absolutely. Doc Holidays, how you feeling about Indy?
It's a great track, but I think people need to have some patience. And,
Yes.
Not be so aggressive, I think, because it is a long race. We can't win it in the first 10 laps. That's the key of the game. You just gotta have patience and ride the storm out, as I call it.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I said that tonight. A lot of tracks you need patience. Atlanta is one of them, and Indy is another. So hopefully we can come back at Indy and show them how it's done there. So we'll see what happens. Freaky Fast, I have to ask you next. How do you feel about Indy?
I don't like Indy that well, but you know what? I'm on a roll. I won the B Showcase race. I won.
You did.
The LOC race last night, and I won tonight. So I can't.
Man.
I got to take that positivity into that track. But here's what I think is going to happen. If we can get everybody into a practice race before that, we could get them to calm down and spread out.
Absolutely.
Indy will run fine.
Absolutely. And like you said, you have won those 3 races. So hopefully that momentum will carry you into the next one and maybe come out with another win tonight or another win that night. But we'll see what happens. Great racing here tonight. J-Mac, it was a lot of fun. A ton of cautions. I'm hoping we don't see that at Indy. That is a track that you can run pretty loose at, but it was fun, J-Mac.
It was indeed a wild race. Got wilder there at the end, that middle portion where things got kind of spread out and people were trying fuel strategy. This race ended up having it all. You had fuel strategy, you had wild wrecks, you had some really, really tight battles. For all all things considered, it was a pretty entertaining race.
I agree. We had a lot of racing, pretty much a bit of everything. So I think Indy will not have so many cautions. I think it'll be a pretty clean race considering, what it could be. Atlanta is hard. I called it coming in here, so they did a great job in the end. And let's talk about streams. Tomorrow we will be streaming. I'm not sure what we'll be streaming yet, but Forza or NASCAR, we'll see what happens. Our next league race for SMB will be Thursday. We are headed to Iowa. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for tonight, we are over and out. So great job to the drivers. Glad to have you, J-Mac, and I'll see you guys later. Still ending.